Okay, I'm back out on Moulin Moor. It's about -1 degree Celsius, but I've got a new fixed wing to hopefully get up in the air for the first time. This is the AlbaBird from Finwing. It's running Arduplane, obviously, on a Matek, I forget what it is, something V2. It's a twin tractor plane. It breaks down really nicely. The wings come off, and it's got these fancy 9+2 connectors to hook up the ESCs, the servo, receiver, FPV gear, etc. The tail also comes off at this point here, so it actually fits into a really small space. The shipping container was surprisingly small for the size of a thing assembled. I don't know what I'm doing with the nose yet in terms of maybe a pan and tilt, like a split style camera. So for now I've got FPV mounted on the tail. It gives quite a cool view, I think. This FC does have 2 camera inputs switchable, so I could actually have a separate pan tilt camera or maybe a downward facing camera. Batteries for today are 8 21700 cells, simply because that's what I've got that happens to balance nicely with no HD camera on the front. So do my high five. I've got ailerons, I've got elevator, I've got rudder. The default settings for fly-by-wire A mode, at least in this version of plane, is that when you give it left aileron, it also mixes in some rudder. It does have differential thrust setup, but that only activates when you give it actual rudder. It doesn't mix it into aileron commands, and I'm guessing that's to reduce the risk of tip stalling, because you wouldn't want it to mix a lower motor RPM into the dropping wing. Okay, the rudder seems to need a lot of trim, maybe. We're at 28% throttle, doing 40 k's. This is untuned, of course. These are just the default PIDs for plane. So, long-term plans for this thing, nothing exotic. I just want a dependable plane which is big enough to carry a GoPro or a 360 camera or some other fun stuff, and which breaks down nicely for transport, which I think this will do really well. Okay, I like this thing. What I might do is try and land it, which of course is the next challenge. Enable auto-tune on a switch. At the moment the switch is set to RTH. Right, okay, we have set up auto-tune on a switch using the little Raspberry Pi Pelican case ground control station. We are going to have another go. Hopefully that camera's in a decent-ish position. Can I see a reflection somewhere? Oh, squint. Okay, let's see what we get. Just gain a bit more height still before we go into auto-tune. So auto-tune in plane, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's not like copter where you just toggle it and then take your hands off the controller, and the copter then twitches back and forth for you on all 3 axes. In plane you have to input the twitches yourself on the roll and pitch. So essentially you enable auto-tune and then you push up and down, left and right, left and right, which I'm going to do now. So up, down, up, down, up, down, left, right, left, right, left, right, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Leads and speed. Roll finished, it says.
Fly-by-wire, A flight mode.
Right, I might tempt fate, try and land it again, and then put the 360 camera on. Same again. I have zip-tied a roll of electrical tape into the back of the plane to balance the camera, because the batteries I have are just all the wrong size. Let's see if we can make it a bit less sketch this time.